Oceoni God, hello everyone. My name is Shanista Cloud. I'm the Cultural Outreach Coordinator at the Cherokee Heritage Center. During this time, while everyone is stuck at home, we want to bring a little bit of Cherokee culture to you. So today I'm going to show you how to do a simple flat weave pattern using paper. Cherokees are known for their flat reed weaving techniques. Using this style of weaving, Cherokees wove flat reed baskets, and they also wove woven mats that could be used as floor coverings or as sleeping mats. Today there are several flat reed weavers that do, as I said, basket weaving, or they also do wall hangings. And there are many different patterns that Cherokee flat weavers would use that had different meanings or different stories behind them, or just different looks that they gave to the flat weave pattern. Today we're going to use simple materials that everyone has at home. Traditionally, Cherokees would have used any kind of wood that they would have chopped down, so a split oak was something that was used quite often. It was just an oak tree log that had been split into long, thin strips that could be woven into different patterns to make baskets or mats. We also used river cane that was split into long, thin strips. And river cane was something that we used quite often for many different things in our lives. But today, we're just going to be using some simple materials, just printer paper. This is 8.5 by 11 printer paper. I'm using two different colors. You can use a single color if you want. You can also play around with maybe printing out designs on your paper, or using markers and crayons to color the paper to give it a different design. Today I'm going to use a green and a white. You're also going to need a pair of scissors for this project. You'll need some masking tape, or this is some blue painter's tape that works really well. It comes off clean from the paper when you're done. And you'll also need a ruler or a yardstick to put lines on your paper and make the cuts. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut your paper into 8 1-inch wide strips. So I've just marked the paper lengthwise, made them 1 inch wide, and I have 8 strips here. So you'll have a little bit of extra left over, but you can just throw that away or use it on a different project. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these colors, either one, it doesn't matter which one you want to choose, and you're going to lay that down on your table, and you're going to get them as close together as you can. You don't want them to overlap, but you want them to be right next to each other. Try to get them as even as possible. And we're going to use all 8 of our strips of paper here. Get these real tight and close together. Okay. Now we're going to take our tape, and we're just going to pull off a piece just as wide as the top of those strips of paper. And gently tape those down so they don't move around. And that'll hold everything in place where we want it to be. And today we're just going to be doing a real simple pattern. I'll show you my example. This is what we'll end up with today. So it kind of is a zigzag pattern, or maybe even a lightning bolt pattern. This is just something really simple, a good beginner pattern. There are a few that are a lot more intricate and take a little more practice, but today we're just going to start out simple. Okay, so I have my 8 pieces of one sheet of my paper laid out, and I've got the rest of my paper in the opposite color, the other color. I've got 8 pieces cut here also, so I've got 8 and 8. We're just going to start with one of our pieces of paper, and we're going to have 8 rows. So we're going to start out with the first 4 rows, and I'm going to show you kind of the pattern they go in. And for the second, we're going to start with the first 4 rows, and for the second 4 rows, it's going to repeat. The pattern is just going to repeat from what we did up top. So for the first one, we're going to lift up these first 2. We're going to go under 2, over 2, and we're going to lift these up. So we've gone under 2, over 2. So this is the pattern for our very first piece of paper. Under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2. Okay. Our next strip of paper, we're going to change it just a little bit. We're going to go over 1 and then under 2, over 2, under 2, over 1. So you can just start to see our pattern form there. We're kind of starting to get that little zigzag pattern going. Okay. Now we're going to go to our row 3. And this one is going to be just the opposite of the first row. So this one started out under 2, now we're going to go over 2. So these first 2 are going to go over. I'm going to try to pick it up without messing up the rest of all my pieces. There we go. So we've gone over 2, under 2, over 2, and then we're going to go under these last ones here. And we can adjust things as we go. We want to try to get these pieces as tight together as they can without overlapping. Alright, now you see our patterns starting to form again. Alright, so this is row 4. And we're going to go under the first one, and then over 2, under 2, over 2, under 1. Alright, that's the first half of our little paper mat. Okay, and you can see our pattern is formed. So now with the last 4 rows, we're just going to repeat the whole thing. So we're going to start back up here with the same pattern on top. So we're going to take another piece of paper and we're going to go under 2. Oops. Yeah, things move around a little bit, but that's okay. Pick these up. Under 2. Over 2. Under 2, over 2. Make our adjustments as we need to. Make that nice and tight. There we go. All right. Okay, so that was row 5. We repeated row 1. So this is row 6. We're just coming back and repeating row 2. So we're over 1, under 2, over 2, under 2, over 1. All right. Now we're going to repeat row 3. So we're going to go over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2. All right, this is our last one. We're repeating row 4 here. So we're going to go under 1, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 1. All right, and now you can see that pattern. We've got that nice zigzag pattern going. I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm going to move everything up just a little bit. That way it's kind of all centered. So we're just going to move this up to where we've got that nice kind of square pattern going on. Just like that. All right, so this is our simple flat weaving pattern using paper. And now we want to finish this off so that we can hang it on the wall or hang it on the refrigerator. So I'm just going to take the tape we were using, this blue painter's tape, or like I said, if you have some masking tape or even Scotch tape would work just fine. You're going to pull off some strips, and you just want them to be as long as this section here. We're just going to tape this down right along this edge here, and that's going to hold that side together. And we're just going to go around on all 4 sides and tape that down. Oops. And it might move a little bit on you, so you might need someone to help you out, lend you a hand while you're doing this. So we're just going to try to get it as evened up as possible without messing up our pattern too much. Okay, and tape that down real good. Okay, now we can go with the opposite side. We'll measure it just a little bit. We're going to tape this side down. Okay, and then we're going to do the top and the bottom. There we go. This will hold everything together. And this is going to be the back, so we won't see this. So we're not worried too much about what color tape we're using. There we go. All right, we've got it all taped off. So now we're just going to gently pull this off up here that was holding everything down. And we can turn it over. And there's our nice, pretty pattern. All right. Well, that's our simple Cherokee flat weaving pattern made out of paper, something that everyone should have at home. So long as you can get about 8 strips. These are 11 inches long because that's an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. So even if you don't have printer paper, you still want your pieces to be about 11 to 12 inches long and about an inch wide to have a nice bit of room to work with. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed the video. The Cherokee Heritage Center is a nonprofit organization that has been pioneering Cherokee cultural programming since 1963. But we could not continue our mission to preserve, promote, and teach Cherokee history and culture without the generous support of people like you. For more info on how you can be a part of our legacy, visit us at www.cherokeeheritage.org/support. Wado.